This is a termination of tenancy action under the emergency provision. There is apparently no lease, or if there is a lease, I don't have a copy of it. Mr. Rognus alleges damage, health hazard to the property. This property was subject to a search warrant and resulted in criminal charges against this defendant, Danette Carter, and several others, including the allegation that they were maintaining it as a drug house. So the landlord wants them to move out. Now, Ms. Carter, as a defendant in such a case, you have the following legal rights. You have the right to hire an attorney. If you cannot pay for one, the legal aid attorney may be available to help you. Meg Bauer is here, but she's presently talking to another client. You have a right to have the case heard here in St. Joseph County where the property is located. You have a right to demand a jury trial. If you wish to have a jury trial, you must tell me at this first court appearance or make the demand in writing within 5 days, explaining your right to the jury trial, and be prepared to pay the $50 jury demand unless the judge waives it for your inability to pay. If both parties are interested in mediation, the court can help set that up. There may be a reason to settle this with a conditional order of dismissal, meaning if both parties can agree, say on a move-out date or something, they could file a consent order of conditional dismissal that would take care of this matter. Your criminal case is file 25996FY. That charges delivery of methamphetamine and maintaining a drug house. That was in front of Judge Pattison. I think I did your initial arraignment. That matter is bound over to the circuit court on last week, June 16th, or a couple weeks ago. So, Mr. Rognus, your position is you wish the defendant to move?
Yes, Your Honor. By way of background, her co-defendant, Christopher Sears, is Carrie Sears' son. Christopher has now deeded the property back to his father, and we're taking heat from the City of Sturgis Police Department about all the drug activity that's taking place over there. Definitely want the property back so we can go in and rectify the circumstance. Substantial amount of rehab is going to need to take place. I don't know if you read all the police report, but it is in bad shape.
No, it's not.
And there is no lease. I mean, Ms. Carter was there just under the auspices of Christopher Sears, who nobody bailed out of jail because his dad's sick and tired of his meth habit.
I do have receipts of me paying rent, though.
All right, well, Miss Carter, what's your position?
Right now, I moved in with Chris, because he said he needed help paying his rent, so I moved in with him, back in November of last year when he lived in Village Manor, and I have been paying him $500 a month every month since then. I do have some receipts, and right now, and the reason I was glad that he did let me move in, which was a blessing, is because I was homeless at the time, and when I leave here, I will be homeless again.
Well, you have no lease. The person that owns the house isn't getting any of the money. I don't suspect you're paying $500 a month to Christopher Sears when he's in jail. So you're what's known as a tenant at sufferance.
I paid rent last month, Your Honor, and I get paid. I paid Chris Sears $500 last month, and I'm on disability, so my next check isn't until the 3rd of this month.
All right, well, don't pay anybody anything. Chris Sears doesn't own this house. Carrie Sears owns it. And so I wouldn't pay Chris Sears 5 cents. I think he's in jail.
Correct.
Yes.
So you're there with no lease. The search warrant was very graphic. They contend that you're the one that's selling the drugs out of there, known as Mama D. Your matter's bound over to circuit court, and police are concerned about this place, and the man that owns the house wants you to move. Have you made any provision to try to move?
Um, right now I have been looking for a place to stay. However, I have had no luck. I do have a friend that is going to, um, take me to, House Inc. or whatever. They help with helping you find an apartment and stuff like that. And that's what I was going to be going to do tomorrow.
Neighborhoods Inc.?
If yes, I couldn't remember which one it was. They help you with an apartment or and things
To
like
help
that.
pay the rent. Now, this isn't about paying the rent. Now, they filed this as a
Unlawful drug activity case.
yes.
Well,
Is
once
anybody else in the house?
no, it's just me and my cat. um, I have a friend here and there that'll come by and say hi, hang out for an hour or two, and then leave. I am I cleaned up the house pretty much. I cleaned up the house, and the only mess that is really is the time that was already there before I got arrested. But I've cleaned up the house, both all the basement, the bedroom, the living room, kitchen, and I've also cleaned up the garage. And also, I'd like to say, actually, I do have a receipt from Terry Sears. When I paid rent, I gave the money to him. That was back in February, and I have that receipt with his name on it.
Well,
Well, you don't have a lease.
I understand that.
override drug activity either.
Yes.
I mean, meth is a serious problem. That will make this property into a toxic hazard for years on into the future.
It isn't as bad as it was, but in the early days of meth houses, they were like toxic waste sites, very difficult to clean up. They did find some quantities of methamphetamine, lots of evidence of methamphetamine use, and pipes and syringes and paraphernalia all over the place. But I think, Andrew, the safest thing to do is to continue this to next Monday.
In Your Honor, if I may say something, right now
Yes.
I'm in the process of trying to find someone with a truck to where I can get the trash that's outside underneath the carport, which I've covered up with a tarp, so it's not as such an eyesore. But I have been trying to look for someone with a truck so I could get the
Well,
trash
if I
out of
was you, Miss Carter, I would just right now worry about getting your stuff out of there because they have the legal standing to move you out of there. You don't have a lease. You got charged with a crime while in this property. It's bound over to circuit court. You are presumed to be not guilty until found otherwise. But I'm going to continue this to 2:30, July 7th.
the July 7th at 2:30.
Yes. Now let me repeat. They want you to move, and if they get what they ask for, you get 10 days from that day to vacate, or you're subject to being evicted. So they could do an immediate eviction where I could remove you right now, but I'm going to take you at your word that you have done some cleanup. But you have no lease.
Yes, sir.
Carrie is now the owner. you're gonna have to vacate regardless of a hazardous site or not. The police want the house cleaned out. Maybe it has been. There's several people that were living there are gone. But if they get what they asked for, you would have until July 17th to vacate, or the sheriff could come put your stuff out on the street.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Don't pay anybody any money. Don't pay Christopher any money. Don't pay Carrie any money. Certainly don't pay Christopher any money.
This is Miss Donaldson's objection to the ex parte order. I'm assuming it was the 1/4/24 ex parte order that grants exclusive use of the marital home to the defendant, grants him attorney's fees, and that the plaintiff basically is not permitted to be in the home without written permission from Mr. Donaldson. Em, I've read your motion. What do you wish to add briefly to it?
Are you asking?
Yeah, it's
myself?
your motion. Yeah, it's your motion.
Oh,
Are you still in the house,
I am currently in the home, me and the children. Yes, sir.
even though the orders have told you to get out?
Well, that says if I do not have permission and I have permission to be in the home, I've spoken with Mr. Donaldson. Mr. Donaldson knows that I'm there. He
It
has
says written permission. Mr.
He-
Cox, does she have permission to be in the home?
She does not, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Donaldson,
Yes, sir.
he says you don't have permission to be in there.
Your Honor, I actually do have permission. We have email communications back and forth. Mr. Donaldson knows that I'm in the home. We've been in communication with the realtor for the last couple of weeks. She also knows that I'm in the home. There has not been any express concerns about me being there. He did say that he was going to write something to allow me to be there. He has not provided that, but he has also not expressed at all any concerns. He comes back and forth to the home to bring the kids, and that's just how we have been we have been living in and living in the home.
What's your motion
back
here
and forth
for?
to school for him every day.
You're trying to
He's
set
exhausted.
aside this ex parte order that gives him exclusive use of the home?
Correct. He does not live in the home. He has his own separate home. He has moved out. And there's no reason to have that exclusive use. He filed a second ex parte without fulfilling the first one at all. He was in the home 60 days during the first ex parte, and he did nothing. So really, when you look at it, he had no grounds or a need to file the second one when he already had full access to the home and full authority to move about at his discretion. And so there has been no further disputes between us. He's left the home, and we've been both taking care of the kids, and he brings his son to me in the mornings because he doesn't have means to get them back and forth to school. That's the way that our kids get back and forth to school, and it's their foundational home as well. So it's just not in the best interest of the children, nor has it been a problem with me being there. And again, we have written communication back and forth that Mr. Donaldson does know that I am in the home. We do have emails to support that, sir.
Knows you're there. That doesn't mean he gave you permission, but I'll ask Mr. Cox. Mr. Cox, your response.
Your Honor, thank you. Your Honor, we've tried everything. We've tried ex parte orders. We've gone through.
I've had a hearing.
Certainly, you've had a hearing. The plaintiff has destroyed the garage door twice. She punches holes in the walls. This realtor I have is a very good people manager, and she's tried everything. We just can't get anything. I've got an email from her today, very alarmed, saying that she's concerned that she's not able to sell this home, as it is nearly impossible to have showings. I have 4 showings set for Friday. Mrs. Donaldson said that she has left for a trip out of town and failed to put the key in the lockbox. Your Honor, it just goes on and on and on. I don't want to inundate you that with stuff, but the point is that she just will not allow us to get this house sold, either by destroying it or making it impossible to work with the realtor. The realtor just needs to be able to get this house sold, and we only can do that by having this ex parte order upheld. She has to be removed from the home. We've tried everything to try to get her out of the home, and she files these motions about how she was somehow wronged in the judgment of divorce. Just to kind of demonstrate how irrational this, Your Honor, we entered into an order before the judgment was entered that said, all right, so your 401k, Mr. Donaldson, is worth $103,000. But you, Mr. Donaldson, only have 14 days to tell us in writing what your premarital portion was, and he said it was somewhere between $30,000 or $35,000.
I know that 401k stuff supposedly held up the actual entry of the judgment. I don't care about that. It doesn't matter who did it. It only matters that I have in front of me a judgment of divorce that I am going to enforce the four corners of that, nothing outside of it. Okay. And that judgment of divorce was entered on August 25 of 2023, stating specifically that the house shall be listed for sale immediately. There's no other way to put it other than it says immediately. We are now in February and it still isn't. I know that there have been ex parte orders. I know I had a hearing on it and said it's got to be done. It was objected to my order. The judge has found on more than one occasion that the house will be turned over to Mr. Donaldson because it can't seem to get sold in any other way. I know there are attorney's fees that are now due that are part of a lien on the house that you're supposed to take her portion of the house, or her portion of the equity for some of it. I understand. Isn't that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ma'am, I don't know what else to do. You're just not abiding by a court order. I mean, I think I should have the police go out and remove you. And a court officer should set all your stuff out on the front lawn.
Well, I don't know what that would do for our children that I take back and forth to school that he does not have means to do. Well, he should care about the welfare of his children.
I understand
and he should know
that I'm enforcing the order. There's nothing.
Your Honor,
it doesn't.
Like you said, it's been February. It's 4 months past. He was in the house for 60 days and with an ex parte order in place the first time and did nothing. The house did not get on the market until January 30th, 2024. Those are not because of delays of myself.
It's because you wouldn't get out of the house like you were ordered to.
No one ordered me out of the home, Your Honor.
You've been ordered.
We've been communicating with the realtor. No, sir. No,
yes,
sir. Mr. Donaldson has emailed me and we have email documentation that Mr. Donaldson is fully aware and okay with me being in the home. He has worked with me and we have worked together to say certain things about the home. But he knows and fully aware that I'm there in the home. We communicate about the children. So he has had no issue with me being in that home. These concerns are more so coming
from out of the home.
He told me I would be allowed 30 days once the home is sold. The home has not been sold. It just got put on the market less than 2 weeks ago, Your Honor. And it's been over 4 months that they've had to do that with full authority to do it. That has not been on my delay because the court granted them full authority that they have failed to exercise in.
It took us a lot longer because we had to get a bunch of ex parte orders in order to get the realtor to get anything done. And
that's not true. You had your order from September 26th, and he did not move out until December 1st.
What are you seeking today? Because, ma'am, this is the same thing that's been litigated that I started back in, I think it was.
Because it should have never been able to been filed in the first place, and it also should have never been granted because it had no grounds or no means.
Sorry, but I granted it, then the judge upheld it, the judge did something else to uphold it, and I'm upholding it again. It's a court order. You just don't seem to agree that the court order should be issued because you don't think it should. I'm enforcing a judgment that you signed. You signed it. You agreed to it. At that time, on August 24, you agreed to it. And you agreed to the fact that the house would be immediately listed for sale, and it didn't, all right?
That's not just on me. That's on the defendant as well.
There is nothing that I can get done. According to Mr. Cox, the realtor is saying, I can't even do 4 showings today? Is that
That's not true. Your Honor, they're having excuses after excuses when they've had multiple.
You've had excuses after excuses why you do not follow the court order.
They did not enforce the court order. They did not. Mr. Donaldson did not tell me.
Then that's what we should do. I should order the police to go out and remove you because then they will follow the court order. Okay. They want you removed from the home. And if that's what you're asking for, just.
No, that's not why I would not want to put my children in that position. I would not ask for that. And I don't think Mr. Donaldson would be asking to put his children in that position.
He's running out of.
He has children. So even whatever his personal things are, it's not in the best interest of the children. This is also a family related issue.
Today.
I am asking that she be removed from the home today. We've got to try to get these 4 showings in. And I'm not trying to add more fuel.
The showings are already scheduled. They're
Try
already
not to
scheduled.
interrupt
I've been
you.
in communication
I
with the
just
realtor.
asked
They're
Mr.
already on the
Cox,
books
ma'am.
and confirmed.
Silence. I'm gonna mute you. Mr. Cox.
Your Honor, one of my obligations under the judgment is the child has a disability that provides him with a trust that provides income to the child of $3,600 a month. I haven't even been able to deal with that with the probate judge, as Judge Hillary ordered me to. And she is simply collecting the child's money every month, not working, and obstructing the sale of this house. Your Honor, we're at a desperate need here
What
because
does
we
that
may
have
lose
to
the
do
house.
with this order while we're here today? First, you're bringing up
And
the
you're
child
bringing
support
up
order
everything
that has
under the
nothing,
sun, and that is not
that is
inappropriate. It
related
has
to the
nothing
issues
to do
today.
with it. It is enforcing a
Exactly.
court order. Enforcing a court order, and you're supposed to be out of there. And that is
That
a
court order also enforced him to do things that he has not done either. That the court has
latest
just put a
order.
blind eye to. He's supposed to pay the portion of my car. He has not done that.
And that
also
isn't what
is a
we're
court
here
order.
for.
It's a
Stop.
court order.
Just mute her. Mr. Cox, I muted her because this is just going nowhere, and it's hit my office and Judge Hillary's office over and over. We've done everything to try and be reasonable, and she just won't do it. Now, I don't know that Mr. Donaldson wants her put out in the street today. I don't know. I'm assuming you're asking for costs for this motion now too.
We are, Your Honor, and it's horrible to say that. I mean, he doesn't want her put on the street, but he knows that we just have no choice. We can't get this house sold. She's going to stop everything that we try to get it sold.
Can you check with your realtor and see today if she can at least get 4 showings in today? Does she have the ability to do that?
We don't have a key to the house to get in the house.
There's no key to the house because Mrs. Donaldson won't give it to her. She said she went on a trip and can't give her the key today, so the 4 showings wouldn't happen.
Ooh. All right, well, this is her motion to object to the ex parte order. I find her motion to be frivolous. It's the same thing that I have done and Judge Hillary has done on this case since this started. And I think the first hearing was probably back in September 21st. I think at that point her counsel was also there, and there were attempts to do, change things. I don't think an order actually got entered, written order, because of objections and stuff until November. On this matter, there's been an ex parte order for exclusive use and possession, attorney's fees. Plaintiff is not permitted in the house without written permission. Mr. Donaldson, I want you to raise your right hand. Yeah, that would be your other right hand.
Oh,
You solemnly swear or affirm testimony given in this case to be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir.
All right, put your hand down. Have you given her permission to reside there for some period of time?
Yes, until the house sold. Yes, I did allow. I was giving her permission to stay in there, but with all these back and
How
forth,
recently did you give her that permission?
it was a couple of weeks ago.
And if you've given her permission to stay there, you've given her permission to stay there. How
Yes.
long?
Well, until the house sold. But it's like she's blocking from the house to get sold. So I have no choice but to say, hey, she got
Are you revoking your permission then?
Yes.
As of today?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Cox?
If there's any hope that we believe she could demonstrate a single shred of cooperation with the realtor, but she can't. It's impossible.
I know, but right now I'm saying he is entitled to it, but he let her stay there. All right. He just told me, and I believe him because he's under oath and everything. He said he gave permission, but he's revoking it as of today. And that should be put in writing to her from him. And then, I mean, she's learning of it today. Ma'am, I'm probably going to give you like a week to move out. because he's revoking his permission today unless he gives you other written permission.
Can she be ordered to cooperate with the showings, Your Honor?
Yes,
All right, thank you.
yes.
If
Ma'am,
she-
you're muted. I can't hear you. I'll unmute you in a minute, but you cannot stop talking when I'm talking or anything, even when I'm doing that. You are ordered to cooperate with the showings that are scheduled for today. You said that they were scheduled. You are ordered to do that. You are ordered to get the keys or availability for those showings today and any other showings that this realtor schedules. You'll give her whatever is necessary to get in and do the appropriate showings. You will not in any way cause damage or something to the house to make it less saleable. I'm denying your motion today regarding your objection to the ex parte order that remains in effect. And as I say, I will give you 7 days to get out of the house unless something else is brought up by Mr. Donaldson and he agrees to some other time or something like that. Mr. Donaldson, I got to tell you this, you can't come in and ask that she be removed and then at the same time give her permission. You either give her permission and you work with her or you don't. And if she doesn't do it, I'm giving 7 days for her to be removed because you've revoked your permission at this point. Anything else, Mr. Cox? I'm gonna, Miss Donaldson, you can unmute and state what you want to. You have to unmute yourself now. We've got it.
All right. Are you able to hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
I have already been in communication with the realtor. I am not just out of town. I have a sick father, much like the defendant, and I'm out of town. I'm in Cincinnati, and I'm here visiting him. He may not have much longer to be here, so I'm just here seeing him, and and Mr. Donaldson knows that. But I've already spoken and communicated with the realtor in reference to that. The showings that were scheduled for today have already been rescheduled and confirmed for Monday. We've already talked about that and talked through that with the realtor. She is aware of that, and I am also aware. And I did apologize for my error on this one time that did for this particular time. I have offered also to repair the home on more than one occasion. That information is there. I haven't been the one to I've been the one trying to get the home repaired because we can make a lot more money than what's being offered on the home currently. And so I've been trying to work with both Mr. Donaldson and the realtor to at least allow those negotiations to be made, because those are one of the main concerns that a few sellers have. The house is currently on the market. They do have all the photos that were needed that came in. They came into the home. We got it on the market. We just had an open house Sunday, February 1st. So I have been in cooperation. There were 22 people that came through the home, and there were communications after the home. So there has been steps that has been taken that I have cooperated with. They've gotten in the home. I've made sure to keep the home in decent condition and to make sure that it was presentable for the guests. I am hopeful that Mr. Donaldson will allow for us. I say us because it's me and his children that he would be putting out on the street, not just myself, because this affects the whole family. And I pray that he does give us permission to stay in our home, because it is still our home. I handled all of our affairs for the first 13 years of our relationship, all of our business affairs and personal. And so Mr. Donaldson, he's not a big negotiator. And so he expresses to me that most of what is being done with the home is being told to him what he's doing. He's not really saying it. He's never really been that person to take the lead in that. That has always been me. So I have been trying to be at the table to negotiate the best rates for both him and I, and also give options for these people that are going to buy it, because we can make more money. We can make up to $50,000 more money that his realtor has said that we could make. And I'm trying to be able to do that. So we can both put more money in our pockets for ourselves and our children that we both need.
The house must
But I will be in
immediately be
cooperation.
sold. And it must be, it doesn't say anything in the judgment about repairs or anything. It must immediately
Correct.
be sold.
Yeah,
If
it wouldn't
you are
stop
going
the
to, if
selling
you are going to
or delay
talk to
it.
Mr. Donaldson about something, you're not being prohibited from talking to him or something, but you are prohibited from interfering with the immediate sale of the house, okay? You can't hold it up because I want to repair the living room.
It wouldn't
that
hold
kind of
anything
stuff.
up. It wouldn't hold it up.
Yes, it would. You
We
gotta
do it
fix
before
it,
the
so don't give
closing.
me
The
that.
same thing that we've done when we
Ma'am,
purchased the house.
Ma'am,
So, yeah, same. But go ahead.
well, thank you.
Honorable.
I'm
So
just
go ahead.
telling you that it will hold it up. I know what it does to fix a house. It holds it up. You gotta do the.
It's minor. I already
Ma'am,
had someone come in
ma'am.
and give estimates, but
Ah!
okay. All right.
Jesus. That's
Oh,
going to be the
all right.
order of the court. She will fully cooperate. Obviously, if she doesn't cooperate with the Monday showings, you can come back and get an immediate order to have her removed. All right. I know you've got them before, but with whatever, because she said she's got it all set for Monday and everything is set up. Okay. And that's her own words to me right here. And if she violates that, I'll use that against her too. Unless you agree, she's to be out next Friday. I will reserve costs for Mr. Cox. You can, you'll be able to bill for your time, the amounts and stuff like that. I'll reserve them for right now for this hearing, only because unless stuff goes the way it doesn't seem to be going, there'll be more. And I will grant costs to you at that time, Mr. Cox. That's going to be the order. If Mr. Donaldson and Miss Donaldson want to cooperate and give more time or do whatever, that's fine. But you're here telling me, Mr. Cox, that he wants this done now, doesn't want to make repairs, basically, just wants it done, just sold. Just sold. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, we're just trying
I
to
understand.
allow our realtor to do her job, and Mrs. Donaldson is not allowed to do it thus far. So,
And if the realtor comes in, ma'am, and says you're putting anything in her way, I'll have the police come and remove you. I'm tired. I'm done. So that'll be the order of the court. Anything?
thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Have a good
You'll
weekend.
draft the order, Mr. Cox.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.